Welcome to the next in the series of our In the Frame interviews. And I'm delighted to be joined by Chris Robinson, who's the founder and chairman of QX Global. And QX Global are celebrating very soon an important milestone of 20 years in business, which is fantastic. So, Chris, what inspired you to start QX? And can you give me a quick kind of overview of inception to now?
Oh, hello, Mel. Or should I say namaste, which is the greeting and welcome from India. Well, I suppose the story, as you say, it all started 20 years ago, and it was a light bulb moment, but not just one light bulb moment. It's often like how these things happen. There was several light bulbs that went on over a period of several weeks. And at that time, I was finance director of a healthcare recruitment business called JCJ. We were growing very quickly and we needed to open a new office. And we were, as a board, we were thinking about where could we open a new office. And the day before the board meeting, I was watching a watching a TV program, and it was about Indian call centers. And I saw these very bright, young, intelligent people, highly qualified, highly motivated, working in call centres. And I actually thought, how sad, because ordinarily that wasn't the type of work that you got graduates and people with MAs and MBAs working in. And that was the first light bulb that went off in my head. So the next morning, I went to the board meeting and said to the team, why don't we open our new office in India? And we talked through how that could work, and I got approval from the board to look into it. So it was my silly idea. So I did some investigation and I looked around as to where would be the best place to do it. And I ended up choosing a little known city called Ahmedabad, which was in Gujarat. And the thing that attracted me about there, it wasn't a place anybody else had heard of. In India at that time, it was a really crazy time. A lot of the big multinationals were going over. They were setting up call centers. All the offices that were there were seeing massive attrition. And I realized if we went there, we'd never get off the ground. We'd never get established because it took us about 6 months to train our staff. And if they were leaving at the rate of attrition rates, it just wouldn't work. So we focused on Ahmedabad, and we were the first healthcare company to go out to Ahmedabad, which gave us a great start because we had no competition. And for the first 20 jobs that we advertised, we had 2,000 people apply.
Wow.
Which was just, it was just that get printed in itself a whole new set of problems. But that was kind of the second light bulb that you thought, well, this is really, we're onto something here. So we could cherry pick, we got the best staff. And because it was my bright idea, I was an accountant, but I was sent out to train the initial team of recruiters. And we took those recruiters on, and it worked very well. It took us about 6 months to get them up to speed. But in 6 months, we had them breaking even. And so that was the light bulb. That was when we knew it was going to work. But whilst I was out in India, I also started talking to Indian chartered accountants. And being a chartered accountant myself, we spoke the same language, which was accountancy, not just English. And what I realised is we had a shortage of accountants as well in the UK. And was there something that I could do in India? Now, somebody came along and acquired our business. And as part of that deal, I agreed that I would go out to India with my young family, my wife and my 3 young boys. And we spent 3 years in India. And that's where we formed QX. And that was 20 years ago. And the whole idea behind QX was for us to provide support services to recruitment businesses. When we first went out there, and when I first went out there, we were the pioneers in healthcare recruitment. The staff there didn't know what the NHS was. We literally had to teach people from first principles as to what the NHS was. But because they're bright and they're intelligent, they picked it up very quickly. And the same with accountants. Although they didn't understand about UK accounting, they very quickly understood that. So we formed essentially 3 subsidiaries, one which was focusing on recruitment services, one that was recruited on accounting services for business, and then the second, which was, the third, which was focused on accountancy services for accountants. And then that grew very quickly. It was this sort of gap of there not being enough, being in the recruitment business as you are, it's all about finding what is there a shortage of.
Yes.
And there was a shortage of accountants, there was a shortage of recruiters, and we had a great talent pool in India that we accessed into that talent pool. That's where it took off. We initially focused just in the UK, and then our clients wanted us to do more in the US, so we started providing services into the US. And then again, our clients wanted more than just staff. We've built our business on people, on process and technology, which is our platform. And clients wanted more technology, but we needed to expand our knowledge base on that. So in 2021, we acquired a business in America called Chasey Partners, and they were focused on consultancy and technology. They had large clients like Manpower. And so we acquired that business, and then we've merged the 2 businesses now. And so we're not only providing services to the UK, we're also applying to the US, and they also have a business in Latin America as well.
So they say time flies when you're having fun. So 20 years has flown by, Chris.
Well, it was quite a long answer, wasn't it? But yes, 20 years trying to get it in. It's been an amazing 20 years. We started off in the accounting with a team of just 5 people. 4 of them are still with us us today.
Yeah.
I've traveled the world. We've met numerous clients. We've grown that team now to over 3,000 people. So, and it has been fun. There's been some tough challenges, but it really has been fun.
I guess, and it's probably quite a difficult question because there's probably been so many, but is there any particular things where you can say, you're really proud of some of the key sort of milestones or achievements along the way?
Yes, I suppose there has been so many. I'm really proud of the team that we've built. I'm really proud of the clients that we have and how we service them. I think it's an incredible achievement that we've grown the business from 5 to 3,000. But every year we do a strategic plan and we look forward. And our first milestone, we didn't start off thinking, we're going to be 3,000 in 20 years. We started off, first of all, we got to 250. Then we had that mission 1,000 as how to get to 1,000. Then when my brother Frank came on board in 2018, we set a radical task to take us to QX 3.0, we call it, to take us up to 3,000 staff. And now we're working on QX 10.0, which is to grow us forward. And that's a 5-year plan. But I'm really proud of the growth that we've seen and how we've coped with that and how we've helped service our clients. We've been growing at 40 and 50% growth rates over the last few years because Frank, my brother, has got us really laser focused, and the team really focused on helping clients. And really, with that, there's been some tough times, and we had the 2008 crash, which was a real challenge. That presented us some difficulties, and then obviously COVID, in 2020. But it's those challenges, Mel, that really, I think it's where it shows you, what's the strength of your team.
Yeah.
And even through those times, we consolidated, we put people first before profit, and our teams worked really hard to look after each other, and we survived and we thrived.
Yeah.
Other things I'm really proud of is this up here, a great place to work, which
Yeah.
is we put, as I say, we put people for it's people, process, platform, but in that order. So I'm really proud when we've got awarded Great Place to Work, because that's our people telling us that we're a great place to work.
Yeah.
So we're really, really proud of that. And then a lot of it is I'm really proud of the strong foundations, the teamwork, and the real resilience of the team. I always say the only constant is change. The only thing that matters is your attitude towards it, and that's what we build into our team. So that the challenges and the threats, we try to turn them into opportunities.
Well, that's teed me up beautifully for my next question, really, because when you've been in the business as long as you have, and me for that matter, I've been in the staffing business for 30 odd years, you've seen how the industry has evolved. And outsourcing particularly has really evolved during this time. How have you, as QX, adapted to those changes?
Great question. Well, we've seen many shifts and changes. When we started 20 years ago, I think we were pioneers. It was unusual. Now it is pretty much the default. And
Yes.
what's pushing that is the need. Just as it was our initial need, we needed labour for us to grow. Our clients are seeing the same, and it's becoming more and more challenging to attract and retain and train good talent. So we've seen it really now where we had to persuade people that outsourcing was a good idea. People understand it. The other thing is post-COVID, everybody understands how people can work remotely.
Yes.
Before that, we had to persuade a lot of clients. Now everybody accepts it. I think as well with COVID, a lot of people have looked, are looking to globalize, are realizing that you can't just look at one particular economy. So a lot of our clients are looking to expand globally and expand the boundaries of their service. And then the other big thing that's coming through and that everybody's talking about is technology.
Yeah.
And really, when it comes down to technology, what I would say to people, AI's not going to replace you, but what will replace you is somebody else who's using AI.
Yeah.
And that's the threat. The threat is that if you don't use technology in businesses, it's the businesses that don't that adopt it that are going to suffer. And so all our clients are asking us for what more can we do in technology. It was the main driving factor as to why we acquired Chasey Partners, because one of their teams is in Colombia. Why Colombia, I don't really know, but they have a very good RPA and intelligent automation team, and they're helping our clients transform the workplace. So we're going to see lots of changes on that. What I just say to people is just embrace the change. Embrace the change.
Yeah. And I guess in terms of and some of that's coming through in what you're saying to me, Chris. But the core values and principles that have guided QX's success, I know rooted in there, as you say, people first. What are the those core values and principles, would you say?
Well, the actual foundation stone is in the name, because QX stands for quality and excellence.
Right.
So right from the very start, I think people always thought of India and outsourcing as a cheap alternative.
Yeah.
And it was never about that for me, and it's never been about what we've been at QX. If we couldn't do the job as well as people could do it onshore, we didn't do it. Because in business, you don't want a poor quality service. So everything we do in terms of bringing our staff on and training our staff is to produce a quality and excellent service. And again, you do that. How do you maintain quality? It's people, process, platform. You get the right people, you get the right processes, you use it on the right platform.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really important to us, and with my brother being involved in the business, but we are a family. One of our largest clients says to us, we're a family business with global reach, and I take great pride in that. And we sum that up in our core value statement, which is precise. And what precise stands for is passion, respect, ethics and integrity, collaboration, innovation, self-awareness, and all those together equals excellence. And they're not made up values. They're not things we get we went to a marketing business to produce. Those are the values that our parents taught us, that if you work hard and you're passionate about what you do and you respect people and do it in an ethical way, then you get rewarded. So we work with people we know, love and trust, and that reciprocates it. It works way. That's why we've got a really good staff and really good clients. We're very proud of the clients that we have.
Fantastic. So your sentiment earlier around embracing the change, and I love that AI is not going to replace you, but it will replace the people. It will replace you if you're not using it. I think that's so true, and we're seeing that, and the speed of that change is going to be significant. So I'm especially interested to hear of any sort of innovative technology or strategies that have, I don't know, played a role in the success of QX so far, or even what you're looking to.
Well, I think it is a case, as I say, we acquired Chasey Partners with the specific intent was to bring in that skill set. We were behind the curve. We've always had a fairly good platform offering. We've developed a number of products, particularly in the recruitment sector, because that was my background, recruitment, to help recruitment businesses do better. And work with platform, it brings process. So the two come hand in hand. We struggled with a lot of clients persuading them, because in recruitment as well, it's sometimes quite easy to make a lot of money in a bull market without the technology. But when things are challenging like they are at the present moment in time, with inflation rates going up, with obviously all the attrition and everything, that's really when your processes and your platforms come in. So and that's again where a lot of this new technology is gonna come in, and it's gonna help. The other big changes and challenge that's going on is this demographic time bomb, as I call it, that's going off in Western and developed countries, and that, just in a nutshell, is that the boomers and the Gen Xers, we outnumber, being on the cusp myself, we outnumber the millennials and the Gen Zers. So as we retire, or I retire and other people retire and move out, there isn't the people coming in to replace it, and this is creating this big gap. It's why all the board meetings that we go to, people are talking about the talent shortage, the attrition, and how we're going to overcome that hurdle. And outsourcing is one of the solutions. That again, this is why we see it's more popular. But it comes back to more and more use of technology, and we're really just it's really just that. But that really clever technology is now actually becoming quite useful. People have talked about it probably for the last 20 years. But now it's becoming really, really important that companies adopt it.
Absolutely. So looking ahead now, because you've done 20 years, tick, we've done that. What's your vision, Chris, for the future? Where do you see the company going next? You know, what does the next 20 years look like? And I know in business we don't talk 20-year chunk. We normally talk, you know, well, we used to talk always 5-year strategies, didn't we? And then it sort of lessened to 3. And then when COVID hit, I think people were just doing 1 year at a time.
Well, actually, we were looking 1 week ahead at times because we were literally just happy to get through. I think in accounting terms, we always talk about the foreseeable future, and the foreseeable future is 1 year ahead. Yeah. But we, as I said earlier, we have a 5-year plan to look forward, and we see very strong growth. I mean, we are going to continue to grow, and more people. It's just that, Melanie, it's just the math. You know, being an accountant, it's just the maths. The equation doesn't add up. There is a shortage of people in the West, and if businesses want to continue to grow, you need people. You know, it's people, yes, process, platform, but where are the people going to come from? And so we're doing more in terms of an offshore solution, but also an onshore and a nearshore. So we have more. We're helping more of our staff come onshore when clients need it, and then when we're talking about nearshore, that is our Mexico operation. So our US clients, because of the timing difference, India doesn't work as well. So we're going to see, I think Mexico is another country that's got this demographic dividend of a young workforce coming, young growing workforce. So that's going to change. And as I said previously, and I'll keep saying it, the use of more and more in terms of technology is going to be the big changer, and the businesses need to adopt it. Yeah.
So just lastly, I can't believe we whizzed through the questions that I'd had prepared, but what does the 20th anniversary mean to you personally? And I guess, how do you plan to celebrate with the team?
Oh, another question. I mean, personally, I'm just really, really proud now. I'm really proud of the team. You know, it's like anything. You can't do something like this. It's not one person. You know, the C in Precise Values stands for collaboration. This has all been teamwork. Really proud of my brother Frank. You know, he came into the business not from either a recruitment or an accounting background, but working with mad entrepreneurs like me, and has really got us focused on the growth. So both Frank and I have been in US and Mexico last month, and we had some celebrations with the team there. But the thing that's really special is next week we're going to India. Fantastic. And we're going to spend some time with the teams. We've got 5 delivery centres in India, so we're going to go around, visit all the 5 delivery centres, eat some great Indian food, which nice. I've been missing. I haven't been there, been there a while. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we're actually between 2 major Indian festivals. There's Navratri, which is a dance festival, and then there's Diwali that most people have heard are coming up. So we're actually not going to do our big celebration there. It's going to be very much personal lunches with the team and meeting the team, because in February next year we do our family fun days, where we get all our centres. They run a family fun day, and my family will go, Frank's family will come over, and we do the payback to all our staff. They invite all their families, and we get everybody together. So that's when we'll have the big party now.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Chris, thank you so much for joining me on In the Frame. It's so insightful, so interesting. Just hearing your story is absolutely superb, and I'm sure our members are going to love it. And I would say to any of our members who want to either personally get in touch with either Chris directly or any of the team in QX, to let us know, reach out to us, and we will make that happen. So thank you so much, Chris, and I wish you all the very best in the next 20 years of QX Global. It's fantastic.
Mel, thank you very much. It's been lovely speaking to you, and thank you for your time.